Let's install the relevant library and create our first workbook. To install the library, you want to go to Anaconda prompt. Now I'm using Jupyter notebooks, but if you're working on PyCharm or a different IDE, the same thing would work. So we will say pip install openpyxl. Now for me, it is already installed, but otherwise it's a fairly small library, so it should not take more than 5 or 10 seconds for the library to get installed. Excellent. Now that we know that the library is there, let's go to our Jupyter interface and we want to create a new notebook. And I'm going to call this OpenPy Excel course. All right. Now, if you notice, this is my root directory. And at the moment, we only have one single Excel file called samples. And we want to create a new Excel file called Hello World. This is how we will do it. The first thing is to write open Excel. So from Excel, I want to import a workbook, and the workbook is equal to workbook, and the sheet is equal to workbook dot active. All right. So basically, we have created two variables. One is called the workbook, the other is called the sheet, and the sheet is the sheet in the active workbook. That means the first sheet of the active workbook. And then in the sheet, in the cell A1, we want to write a value, let's say hello, and then we want to write a value in B1, which is world. Once we have done this, we also want to save the workbook. This would be workbook.save file name, and you can give any file name that you want. So we want to call this hello underscore world.xlsx. Now it is going to get saved in our root directory, but if you want to save it in a different path, you can always give the path that you want. Let's run this, and there seems to be some error. Let's just quickly check. Okay, I forgot a space here. All right, so we run this, and when we go back to our folder, you notice there is a new Excel file called hello underscore world, and if I double click and open it, you will see that we have the workbook created with two values in it, hello and world. So this was our simple first example. In the next lecture, we will see how we can load a workbook which already has a lot of data in it, and how we can extract the sheet name and the cell value from the dataset.